EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Mike, set, blue 60. Ready?
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 27, Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Stay 50, stay 50. 26, check 26. 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
Well, Stafford. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Corey Peters slipping in and getting the sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. In that time for the sack, say hello to Chandler Jones.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
On the return is Peterson. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. On 2nd down, here's Murray. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Andy Isabella was the intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
Ready. 70 ending. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Shift. Go. Go. Motion. High seven. High seven. 51 to Mike. 51 to Mike. Double dog. Double dog.
Murray with a 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Amendola set to return it. Very good return. Turn that time. 18 yards. And the Lions will take over.
1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Stafford on 1st down. And he finds Danny Amendola. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Running from the gun, Johnson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, defense. Let's go.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll run it with Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are going to take a 1st quarter lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes the score 7-0. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On second down now, it's Johnson. An 8-yard gain, so that gets them halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
It's just me. It's just me and you. Check three. He's coming. Double up.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now a 1st down throw, Stafford. It's caught outright, Amendola. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They'll hand it off now. Johnson, not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Ready. Blue 60. Zebra.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 46. To throw is Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
32. 43 is the mic. 5. 43 is the mic. Watch me.
Here's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
58 to Mike, 58.
Throwing again is Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it. Double right.
They snap it to Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. 1st down. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Credit the tackle to DJ Swearinger.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
58, boy, 58, 58. Come on. Hey, tight.
From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
Check, 180. Check, 43. Stay 50.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On 2nd and goal, Stafford, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Prater for the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
First down, Murray. Flushed out right. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. That's Isabella open on the right side. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd and 4.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Again, they'll throw with Murray. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now the former Sun Devil, Zane Gonzalez, for the field goal try. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one is right down the middle. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And Detroit getting set to go now. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Second down, Murray sets to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long.
Switch. Check it backer, check it backer. It's great. Squeeze. Zip it. Smash it. Delta.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. He connected on his first, this from 41. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kerryon Johnson with now 3 week one touchdowns. And the Lions add on to their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Ready. Mike 51. Mike 51. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Let's go.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, 73 yards. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
You go tight. 40 got. 40 got. You go tight right there. 35 the mic.
Now a handoff. Johnson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Stafford. And that will be incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
And they'll start the drive here with an end around. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Stop your whining. Double time, double time.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Murray, this one caught by Isabella. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the toss, here's Johnson. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They go to Johnson again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Set, ready. 7 ending. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Slam. First ball. 51, Mike 51. So we got man. Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. Yeah. Go, Mike 51.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray fighting, lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They begin the drive with Johnson, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Here we go. Check. 11.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run on 1st down. Johnson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
It's a gain of 10. 1st down, Detroit.
Stafford now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, switch gears. Real right, 22.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Johnson. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Check nine. Alert!
On third and short to give to the tight end. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be fourth down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here we go. 60 out low. 51.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, an 80-yard touchdown. And now the Cardinals are within a 2-point conversion of tying up this game. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, Stafford. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there, almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Stafford. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Some good games around the league here early in Week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, dude.
From the gun, Stafford. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
Well, it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 24-yard line.
If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. On first down, it's Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Back to throw, Stafford. Wide open receiver, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On the ground, this is Johnson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 22 yards there, a first down.
A gain of 22 yards.
Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Stafford. Amendola catching it left side. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Detroit.
Set, ladies! You better bring.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Chandler Jones able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that. Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Over the middle, it's Amendola. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Again, it's Stafford. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. A big spot now for the rookie Murray. Here's Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too in the NFL. They're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Murray over the middle. That's hauled in by Isabella. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Back, back, back. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Murray sets to throw on 4th. And he's got Fitzgerald. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Johnson. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball. Kill, kill, kill. Kill. 80 weapons.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas. All day. Whoa! Let's get it.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
51's the mic.
Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
All runs Lions on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A toss, left side, Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Here we go.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Christian Kirk with time running out. And the Cardinals have once again taken the lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Whip. Watch the whip.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. What a play that turns out to be. 36 yards.
The Lions, 1st down.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Alert!
One last throw here for Stanford. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for the Cards, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.